Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me today I have the amazing actress Sanjana Sanghi. So join me as I welcome her only on Zoom channel.
Thank you.
Firstly, lovely to have you on board, and we are going to have some amazing, yummy food.
Yes.
And I really want to know your diet, you know, how it is. Do you really like let go of whatever you want to eat, or are you very selective of your food?
I am absolutely not selective in the sense that food literally is my life. Like it's been the center of our household. Everything, every trip, every celebration has been centered around food, and even after becoming an actor, I've not changed that because luckily the metabolism supports. And इतना काम करना पड़ता है कि उसके लिए energy भी चाहिए होती है. So I think growing up in Delhi and then moving to Bombay, the palate has had to change a little bit. But the love for food has only increased, if anything.
And on that note, we are going to let you have some amazing meal with us today. We have ordered some yummy food for you. I hope you really like it.
I'm so
and we are
excited.
over here. We are going to have conversation around food
Yes.
while having food.
Perfect.
Perfect, right?
Best. That is the best thing ever.
Sanjana, what is your preference, like, you know, on your daily basis, what you do prefer to have? Like, wo hona hi chahiye meal mein.
So I am very soldier-like about my breakfast for some reason, and I eat a very weird combination. But I'm half Gujarati and half Punjabi.
Huh.
My mom's a Gujarati.
Okay.
So I have poha, but I have boiled eggs as well. Not with it mixed, but like that's my combination, and that's a staple.
Okay.
So whether I'm at home, whether I'm on set, I have to have that. And I really like ghar ka khana. Yaar. Like dal, chawal, sabzi is my regular lunch.
Huh.
Nothing fancy. Dinner pe I get a little playful, and I feel like then I go out a lot. I've started cooking now a little bit. So dinner is usually some kind of nice like pasta or Chinese food, that type of thing. Yeah.
And we would like to make
Oh my
people
God, guys.
go through these items. If you could see, we have ordered very healthy food.
Yeah.
I really want to know which dish is this.
This is, I asked you to get me, and you so sweetly got me the omelette curry from Tanjore Tiffin. It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Um,
So I also have ordered something which is omelette.
oh,
But which is, yeah, because even I prefer having omelette
Awesome.
a lot. Yeah, so it's the
Yeah.
protein intake which we need. And I've
Correct.
ordered something which is yam cutlet, which
that
is healthy
also
again.
yum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the appam and omelette curry together is just fab. And this is good old lemon rice.
Okay.
So yeah, simple.
I have to not make you wait for our conversation because I think we should start eating.
We
It's
must.
already like, you know, hot.
Yeah.
So taste tabhi acha aayega.
Let's do it.
Let's try that. So are you like often a visitor over here? Like, do you prefer ordering from here?
I actually love the food. I come a lot, I order a lot. It's one of my favorite places to, even like with a big bunch of friends. It's really fun.
So I could see that you really love having an egg.
Yeah.
Like egg has been your favorite.
Yeah.
So how your diet has been like otherwise? Has your diet changed, you know, ever since you have gotten in the world of acting?
Like I said at the start, you know, it's actually not. Luckily, I was never that kid who loved. I guess till I was 10, 11, I used to really like junk food. But now, since many years, since I was like a 15, 16, I don't get this urge to have junk. So because I don't have that, I go for it with like any kind of health. Like this is healthy according to me.
Correct.
You know, it's an omelette curry. I have carbs. I have everything. I feel like as long as you're not eating crazy big quantities and you're working out,
Yeah.
I think you're good. At least that's how it's been for me.
But did you have like otherwise also? Do you follow a strict diet? You know, because
No.
of the world of acting and all like that.
No, I know you're trying to. The answer is actually no. I don't follow any diet. I just don't. As tough as that sounds to believe.
Really?
Yeah. I don't understand why there's this conception that actors have to be on a diet when if you've grown up being athletic, you've been a dancer, you're generally fit. Unless a part requires me to get into a very specific body type where I have to cut carbs, cut sugar, that's different. But otherwise, I don't know why.
But would you prefer gaining weight, you know, if you had to for a role?
Prefer it? If my director
If-
asked
yeah.
me to, I would do it. I
Yes,
mean,
yeah.
of course.
We could see that, you know, there was a very good chemistry you all four had when you worked in your Netflix movie Dhak Dhak, and when I spoke to Diya Mirza, when I spoke to the other team members also for this one, it felt like a very good ride. What was that food which you really cherished while being on this trip? Because this trip, I'm sure, like you had a road trip, you had fun memories over here, and I'm
So
sure you must have
many.
had a lot of good food.
Yeah, it was incredible because I mean the film is a road journey and we were actually traveling from, we started in Delhi and we kept going up Manali and then ultimately Ladakh. So literally as we were moving, we were shifting locations every day and you could see the flavor of the food changing with every state. So when we were in Himachal, it was like the Pahadi mutton curry, you know, the classic in a big pot. I remember जब night shoots होते थे हमारे तो one of our producers is a great cook, so he would cook this massive pot of mutton curry for everyone. And then my favorite was the time we spent in Ladakh because I had never been to Ladakh before. It was always a bucket list thing.
Okay.
And the kind of momos, the thukpa, the Ladakhi food is so different and so fresh, you know, you can tell that it's just the best quality. And fun fact is actually that Leh town has these hidden Korean food joints.
Oh, really?
There's a huge Korean community somehow through the Silk Route back in the day when, you know, people came through the Silk Route, and we discovered these amazing Korean bars and restaurants. They call them Korean bars, but they do the Korean barbecue. So along with Ladakhi food, that was one really nice discovery.
Which was that one dish you really tried, like, you know, having it over here in Mumbai or Delhi otherwise? Like you really wanted to get that same taste?
In the sense?
In the sense,
Something
like for
that I
example,
eat
what
here
you
that-
know, what you had at Leh. Sometimes you feel like, you know, like for example, if I had some dish in
Yeah.
US or something, I really want to like try it over here.
That actually did happen, and luckily here where we are in Versova only, there's a couple of Tibetan and Himalayan kitchens. So there's Yeti and there's Lama's kitchen, and I order a lot from both these places. A lot. They do a really nice pork and rice. They do a really nice, again, the momos. So my search has been on, even in
Yeah.
Bombay. Yeah, for sure.
Sanjana, when you started off, everyone remembers you as the rockstar kid, okay, and everyone talks about it. And Imtiaz Ali himself has been known for, you know, all these taking road trips and, you know, exploring new
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
And I'm sure you have also, you know, been to different places. If you could recollect, you know, if you could recollect any one of those memories, you know, back then basically, which you really cherish even now, and which you really like, you know, okay, that was the best moment for you. Which one was it and why?
It's crazy that you asked that because it is like food is such a, even though it's now 13 years ago, it's so clear in my head because food was such a big part of Rockstar's set. Imtiaz sir's, all his films, food is a celebration.
Yeah.
But we were shooting in Delhi and he was actually, so Chandni Chowk in Delhi is somewhere where my mom has grown up. And once just essay on set, she got kachori and parathas from Parathe Wali Gali and kebabs from Kareem. And just essay, she was like, she gave it to me, Ranveer, Imtiaz, we were all eating. And since then, literally, it's become a tradition for us that whenever Imtiaz sir is in Delhi, at least till I was still living there, we would always get that little packet which had all those same things. We would get the kachori, the parathas, the kebabs, and just feast on it. And I think with food, you know, it just becomes, it's more than food itself, it becomes a connection, a celebration, a memory. And I think I've witnessed that and experienced that in my own life in so many ways. So that's one special memory for sure.
And also people talk about Ranbir Kapoor's family, you know, blessing with the best food in the town. Have you tried, like, you know, when he was
We
there
were
on the
actually
set?
not shooting in Bombay at all.
Yeah, like
So
there were
more of
scenes
the-
where you were not there, basically. Like even if they shot.
Not about scenes where I was not there. The
Yeah.
film was not shot in Bombay. So
No, he shot na the Sadda Haq song.
in Xavier's,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like Mandy, yeah. So I have, I mean, I have
You were
nothing
not there,
to
that's
do
what-
with
yeah,
that.
exactly.
But yeah, so the responsibility of getting food was more on us who are from Delhi
Yeah.
while we were shooting on Delhi.
Oh, wow.
Shooting in Delhi. So yeah, I haven't. It was more Ranveer trying what we were bringing than vice versa. at
And
that
did you try exploring that when you were working in Dhak Dhak also? Like, did you try getting your home food on the set?
We were too far up, yeah.
Yeah, but y'all didn't meet like at some place like together, like when you know script reading or something like that. ऐसा कभी कुछ हुआ?
हाँ वो तो बहुत जब हम प्रेप कर रहे थे तो बहुत होता था
हाँ.
that I think again like everyone's Ratna ma'am makes the yummiest Gujju food. So when we were in our workshops, readings, everyone's dabbas would come from home and you just slam them on the table and then it's just like one feast.
हाँ.
किसी को पता नहीं है क्या कहाँ से आया है. You're just eating and that's just such a nice feeling because you get to I feel like you understand the person better also, you know, through the I feel like I personally, if you're not a foodie, you're definitely not my favorite person. You know, that's like a
Oh,
thing.
goodness,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
It's like a thing because I feel like being passionate about food is such a basic human thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think whenever there is an emotion, we kind of connect with the food.
Yeah, we do.
It
It's
does
just
happen,
That's
right?
how it happens. So, yeah, I mean, I clearly remember I call her Rats, but Rats' Gujju food was a solid memory also. Yeah.
Do you try your hand in cooking? Like, have you tried making something and you have like really failed?
If you ask my mom, she will say no, that she does not cook that much. But I've been staying in Mumbai alone now for quite a few years, and eventually you have to, you know, start doing it yourself. And I also really enjoy it. I just never did it पहले क्योंकि जब तक ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती, you don't try things, right?
Yeah.
So my dad actually used to run a very chotu kebab joint in Delhi.
Okay.
So my parents have been crazy about marinations and curries and stuff. So I've seen that growing up always. And I didn't realize how much I had subconsciously picked up. So with me what happens is I don't pull out a recipe. Just andaze se, like even if I have to make a pasta, I'm like, okay, I like some garlic in it, I like some red chilies in it, maybe like cut up some ham, make it al dente, and just toss it with olive oil in the pan. So it's not taught, it's not like I'm following 2 teaspoons of this, it's kind of just from the heart.
Okay.
So I'm a jugadu cook,
Jugadu.
like that. But I can make sure that I don't go hungry.
But when you're on the set, what is that one thing that Sanjana really needs when she's on the set?
Man, I need my poha.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a poha monster. My friends call me a poha monster,
Huh.
literally. Like, I have gone into the hotel kitchens of where we're being put up, had conversations with the chefs to just be like, peanuts mat dalna, tomato mat, like to the exact thing. So I think if one thing I can't survive without, it would be that. For sure.
Are you a chai person or a coffee person?
I'm a both person. I literally, again, my team always looks at me like, dude, you're asking for like the 4th cup of chai or coffee.
Yeah.
But I literally wake up in the morning, have a cup of chai, and then like 2-3 hours into the day, I need, like, I've now started having black coffee, but till
Yeah.
3-4 months ago, it used to be a proper doodh wala coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
now you have gone.
Now I'm trying to be all grown up and all, so I'm like trying to have black coffee.
Have you given up on certain food items, like say for example, having almond milk instead of normal milk, having say jaggery instead of sugar?
So luckily I'm not lactose intolerant, so I can have normal milk. So that I do, but I try to alternate a little bit where I can. Definitely not having white sugar. So like you said, jaggery is great. I enjoy like alternate grains sometimes, like a buckwheat crepe and things like that. Kitchen Garden and Suzette and all do a great job of that also. So
Yeah.
that's been fun. But otherwise, I eat regular atta, white chawal. I do that. I don't eat like blue rice and red rice. I just eat normal white rice.
But do you prefer like eating more outside, you know, when you're working and traveling like that?
No, yeah, because you know, literally, I think out of a calendar year, I don't think we're home for any more than max 4 months in total. So when I am home, I really just want my simplest dal chawal sabzi. But when we're traveling, then I love like I remember Adi and I when we were shooting for Om, Aditya Roy Kapoor was we had gone to Armenia to shoot.
Okay.
And so Armenia is like, I never thought I'd go to Armenia, you know.
Yeah.
And we were in the capital in Yerevan and completely different cuisine there, bread and cheese and so we like, and shawarmas and all of that. So we picked out. So the place that you go to, then just go for it is what I feel.
Huh.
Like if you're in Ladakh, then eat Ladakhi food, you know.
Acha, huh.
Because when else will you kind of get the chance?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's actually true. But also, you know, Sanjana, as we see, you know, and as we see, you have also evolved in your career, and we have seen that, you know, the way you started off versus how things have been now for you. Many good things have come into picture. You know, many good things have taken lead also. One such example is about your connection with the United Nations for a very good cause. Could you elaborate on that? And we would like to know more about it. You know, someone from a Bollywood personality presenting, you know, India over there. How was it for you? And I could see that you're really like getting nostalgic about it. You're getting emotional about it. Yeah.
Yeah, right now, you know, I'm actually, when I'm meeting you, I've just come back, so I'm barely processing it also because it was a page out of like a dream because that General Assembly of the United Nations, that hall has been so iconic. Growing up, you know, I've seen like Barack Obama and Leonardo DiCaprio and like people who are my icons be given that podium. So when I got that email that I'm kind of being entrusted to be the voice of the global youth, it was the biggest encouragement for all the work I have been doing in this space. I just, you know, empowering the youth, us empowering each other is like it just comes from the heart for me. I don't have an answer to why I do it or what makes me do it, but I know for a fact that it makes me jump out of my bed and get people together, ensure that we're able to educate the largest number of people in India, ensure that mental health is something that's spoken about. And I just feel like, you know, Ratan Tata also just, this quote of his has always stuck with me. It was like my initial motivation also, where he always used to say that if you want to walk fast, walk alone, but if you want to walk far, walk together. And it's like literally written in my room. So I just feel like moments like these allow me to reach out to millions. Earlier it was more within India, now it's globally. And to take India's voice to the international stage, to take the fact that we're the largest, our youth population is so huge in India.
Yeah.
And we can be like a crazy powerful force.
True.
I believe that truly. And I was empowered by people in my life, you know, to chase my dreams, to not give in to my fears. We all have fears,
True.
all of us.
Of course.
And if I didn't have those people pushing me ahead, there's no way that I would have it in me to do anything that I'm doing today. And I feel like we all need to be that for each other. So this journey of advocacy is just that. It's just to be a pillar for each other. And it's also that like it doesn't have to be the big global stages, even if it's your school, your office, just helping your peers, your colleagues, encouraging them, that is the emotion. And that's why I think the universe kind of brings subjects like that to you. Like Dhak Dhak encapsulates exactly that emotion of women supporting women.
Yeah.
You know, upping each other, not pulling each other down.
True.
So I love that both as an actor and as an advocate, I get to celebrate that emotion.
Are you also liking the fact, as we talk about, you know, women supporting women, you know, and at a larger scale, if you see, most of the women are working, very hard. I don't try to say that discredit the men who are working. They're also there, but at the same time, there was an occasion where women were not even allowed to work. Versus now, women are encouraged to take up, bigger roles. Do you
Absolutely.
feel that growth has also happened overall? Be it I don't say only in the cinema.
Yeah.
Otherwise also at different fronts. People who are not allowed are coming out and
100%.
wanting to earn for themselves. Do you
Yeah.
feel that is what is required? Just empower them. We keep on saying about patriarchy so many times at so
Yeah.
many levels. It still happens. It's
Of
not like
course it
something which
does.
will fade off as such. But women supporting women, men
Yeah.
supporting women. That is
Exactly.
something which you feel it's quite good.
100%. I mean, look at us here. Like literally, all of us. Where my entire team also right now is women-led, and it's not about, like you said, it's about men supporting women as well. And I think you and I will both be. We're small examples of how the men in our houses have not held us back and just let us go, let
Yeah.
us take our wings and fly.
True.
And I really have started to realize now that a big part of that is financial independence. I think the moment you were able to build financial independence for yourself, you are no more, you don't have to lean on anyone. And that feeling is the best because you go to bed being like, I am responsible for me. And that doesn't mean that there aren't people in your life, that you may not have a partner or loving parents. It's not to say that, but it's just that I am enough for myself. And I see that in the eyes of the modern Indian woman.
Yeah.
You can tell in her chal that like we're confident, we know we are capable, and we don't need anyone.
And do you feel there is some different kind of pleasure when you really understand that, oh, you're independent, you're young, and you can just go and achieve things?
It's
I
like-
really feel that, almost every day. I'm like, oh my
It's-
God, I'm doing that.
It's almost like a giddy pleasure.
Yeah.
I remember initial years of moving to Mumbai as well. You realize that the world is so big. There's so much to do. There's so much to conquer, and the only thing that can come between that is just you, your fears, your insecurities. So, I think that free spiritedness is coming into not just urban women but women in tier 2, tier 3 cities also, because
Yeah.
I travel due to my work with the UN. I get to go into the interiors of our country, and it's only when you sit down to them and talk to them that you realize that they are not caged by anything. They've
Yeah.
let those mental cages kind of break free.
Yeah. And that's something I think which is required.
It
Which
is.
makes me bring back a certain past of yours, which is when you started off your career, and I'm sure you had some amazing memories while coming over here, trying to be cast, get cast actually for movies. And us journey mein, the kind of food you had, we all would like to know about that.
I started auditioning after I did Rockstar, but at that time I used to still live in Delhi. So I used to come for like, अगर 3 auditions साथ में मिल गए और एक ad मिल गया, then I'll make a trip out of it and
Yeah.
kind of do the rounds right here where we're sitting. और उसमें there's no, एक तो पैसे की कमी, so it's not like you can sit and have a lavish meal.
True.
And the speed at which we have to go from studio to studio. So I can't even tell you how iconic some of the cafes on this road are, because like the subway, the barista, like films have gotten made in these cafes, because
Yeah.
literally those stories of a casting director spotting an actor at that cafe, ऐसे ही होता है,
Yeah.
quite literally.
Yeah.
My favorite thing used to be, he's gone now, but there used to be this yummy anda parotha guy
Yeah.
on Yari Road.
Okay.
He would give you fresh anda parotha with achar in the middle, and whether you want to eat it breakfast, lunch, snack, you were taken care of because it's fresh, it's filling, and we all used to go and attack that.
Oh, wow.
So that's my, I think, top memory.
And I could see that Sanjana is really obsessed with anda.
Sorry.
No, I mean she's like every single place at home she's making anda. She's having anda over here. During her struggling days also she's having anda. So I mean there is something anda obsession which is happening.
There's an anda connection.
The Ande Ka Fanda song was like really dedicated to you.
Made for me, yeah.
And now I know that, touch wood, you know, your hair and your skin, Anda Ka magic is happening
I
on
think
you.
so.
You never know actually. But Sanjana, also, you know, what is that one dish which you really love, you know, made by your mom, which you really
man.
miss the most whenever you're here?
Oh, I don't know what it is with our mom's khana. It's just next level. But my mom makes, so like I told you, there's the Gujju side and there's the Punjabi side, right?
Yeah.
So we have the khatti meethi dal in Gujaratis, which has
I know.
gur and imli.
My mom was a Gujarati, so I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one of my favorites, and my mom makes an epic butter chicken. Like epic, matlab घर पे line लग जाती है literally. Like if I text my friends saying, guys, butter chicken is happening today, 10 friends will just show up for dinner. So she has to make like a massive pot.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know, maybe it's from their days when they were running that little restaurant that I was telling you about. But there's some secret touch. And it's very light. It's not like a heavy restaurant butter chicken. So when she comes to visit me, she knows it's a drill. Lunch पे खट्टी मीठी दाल बनेगी, रात को butter chicken बनेगा. It's like standard. Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, like dal kisko nahi pasand hai?
हाँ,
I think
it's
no one
like
can
soul
deny
food.
like dal. It's like soul food. But when you travel abroad, and we see that on Instagram also, you put a lot of stories, and it seems like travel is doing, you know, it's happening. But for sure, the food is something which is a major part of the travel. What leads to that? I mean, which are the places you really love, like going for the food? Especially when your recent trip to US.
Yeah.
They have some good, amazing food over there.
So I spend a lot of time in New York because of the work that I am doing there, and also my elder brother lives there. So
Okay.
I don't think there's any other city in the world which, if you want to eat Argentinian food, if you want to eat particular food from a certain part of China, I mean, New York has everything. And it's specialized, it's not even like touristy, you know. But like you said, I decide my holidays based on which part of the world's food I want to try. Last year got to do my first ever Euro trip last summer, and I never thought I would love Spanish food as much as I did. I freaked out in Barcelona, totally freaked out. For Dil Bechara, we had shot in Paris.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
I've cried watching that movie, so please. Why you had to do what you had to do, but yeah.
Yeah, and we had a blast in Paris. मतलब हमने जितने croissants खाए हैं ना, and the French omelets, because we were there for a good 10 days, and we were shooting at Montmartre, we were shooting at the Eiffel Tower. There were cafes all around. Pick up a coffee, pick up a croissant. Epic. Yeah. So good.
And coming back to, as I told you, like about Dil Bechara, I was anyway coming on that question. How was it, you know, working on this one, especially because the storyline is different, but at the same time, there is one scene when Sushant Singh Rajput is getting scolded by your mother, and during the food table only the conversation is happening, you know.
That is true.
Yeah.
And that's so relatable.
That's so relatable, and he's trying to put the blame on you, and that blame is getting shifted. How that scene was, and कुछ food items देखे थे, if you remember, वो काफी अच्छा लग रहा
That
था.
was a classic good old Bengali meal.
Yeah.
Mache jol, everything classic, aluchi, all of that was there. And you know, the thing with set food is that it's made to look good, right? So as an actor, you can't get carried away and eat too much of it, क्योंकि उसमें soda वोडा बहुत होता है to make it look very presentable. But that's actually one of my favorite scenes, because so much happening, you know. Sushant and our banter is going on, Swastika is coming in,
Exactly, yeah.
Khichatani is happening, and all over food, which is like classic of any family. Namak kam hai, jala hua hai, ye thanda hai. So it was and that was one of the first few days of shoot as well. So I remember I was still just easing into, you know, your first film as a leading actor. The kind of responsibility is crazy. It's very different from what I was doing growing up as cameos and those parts. Suddenly, you know, the whole story kind of rests on your shoulders. But beautiful memories.
How was it when you were approached for this movie, you know, and you got to know that you're playing the lead actress, and especially because it's a remake of a Hollywood film? Were you like nervous, and how was the entire reaction around you?
It was unreal, yeah, you know, because I had just graduated from Lady Shri Ram in Delhi University.
Yeah.
So college bus khatam hi ho raha tha, and I was auditioning actively, like I told you, and because I was in college still, I was very focused on studying also, so I wasn't giving my full attention to cracking auditions. But tab tak nothing from a leading perspective had gotten cracked. So with this also, when I got the initial call, I was like, we put our head down, give it our best, and you know, you have to try and put it aside, because otherwise the heart really breaks.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I accepted the job offer I had gotten from my internship. I was going to be doing a full-time job. And I remember after giving the initial audition, Mukesh called and said that we are going to be going and meeting Foxstar Studios. And when he said that, I think I realized that okay, this is going somewhere. And it with a round of auditions, but Mukesh had actually cast me for Rockstar. So he had found me in my school back during Rockstar, and back then he had said that if I kind of make a film as a director, when you grow up, I would want you to be in it. And I thought, that's obviously matlab bolne ki baatein hoti hain, you know. And cut to 10 years later, that kind of came true. So it was quite serendipitous.
Wow.
And just so huge on Fox and him to because Fault in Our Stars is about Hazel Grace, it's about Kizzy in many ways.
Yeah.
So to trust such a raw new actor, that was huge.
And the
of
movie
them.
itself, like the Hollywood one, also if you see, like
Oh my! It was my
yeah,
favorite.
it
growing
makes
up.
you way too emotional. Yeah.
It was my favorite novel, favorite film growing up. Yeah.
Sushant and you, what was that one dish you both cherished while
Oh my
working on the
God.
sets of the
we
movie?
used to eat a lot. We used to eat a lot, but we used to love eating sushi.
Oh.
He was a sushi freak, so we used to. I think we probably ordered sushi from every place in Bombay at some point during prep. और फिर जमशेदपुर में भी जाके हम sushi ढूंढ रहे होते थे.
जमशेदपुर में कौन sushi ढूंढता है? Okay.
But yeah, that was
Amazing.
just one of I think I actually started really liking it kind of because of him, because उससे पहले I used to be like
Yeah.
not my zone. But yeah,
So have you tried the non-veg sushi also?
of course, yeah.
And you found it
I
good?
love it. I
Yeah.
love it now. Yeah.
But moving on to something which I want to know, like you have tried all these food items also. Which one has been your personal favorite right now?
I think we weren't today I went with my safety options. So
Yeah.
the omelette curry, appam did not.
Do you want to try
disappoint.
this?
Yes. This would actually. I'll give you one
yeah,
also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seems to be like thoda.
You should have it with the chutney actually.
It's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to try this?
I'm actually good. Satisfied.
For food, for the love of food. Any crazy thing you have done which you really like, even now you cherish, like you have just gone out of your home, leaving your home, or just going traveling somewhere for food?
I've done it all. I mean, like I said, firstly, I literally plan my travels because of the food.
Huh.
So that being the most important thing. But growing up in Delhi during our college days, क्योंकि दिल्ली का खाना में जो मज़ा है वो it's next level. And जब सर्दी हो जाती है ना, so in that crisp cold, to have there's this thing called chur chur naan in Delhi. मूलचंद के फ्लाईओवर के नीचे मिलता है सिर्फ वहाँ. It's this really लच्छा kind of naan, and you can stuff paneer, aloo, whatever you want in it. So we used to fully sneak out of our lectures just because we used to look at each other and be like, it's time. And without telling it, sneak out, eat that, dip it in makhan. And it was yum. And we used to eat tandoori momos.
Okay.
So tandoori momos are literally a momo put into the tandoor.
Oh, acha.
properly put into the tandoor like a kebab is,
Uh-huh.
and then you have it with that mint chutney which we have with kebabs. That's something I haven't been able to find in Mumbai.
But if you had to share some of your secret hideouts, which one has been that?
Trick question.
Yeah, it had to be.
My secret. I hate to be revealing my secret hideout in that sense, but in
One of
in
them at least.
Bombay,
Yeah.
there is this. It's my favorite. It's called the Blues Kitchen. It's a small hole in the wall in Bandra, run by a Thai lady, and the Thai curry rice there is like my. She just has 4 tables. It's very chotu, but she makes it fresh, and it's my go-to. It's like my place of peace, kind
Yeah.
of.
So we
Yeah.
know where to find Sanjana,
Actually,
right?
kind of, yeah.
When you're on the set, especially, have you done any such crazy things, while being on the set? Just traveling a certain place, all the way to get a certain food item.
When you're on a set, I know people think that we're kind of just having fun, but for 12 hours, you are like a dedicated soldier. You have to get the job done. So the masti happens before and after.
Okay.
But again, when you're on real locations, lunch break, if I'm shooting in places like we've spoken about, Paris, Ladakh, I will just take my car out and pick up stuff from the local joints. वो तो हम करते ही हैं.
Acha.
So it's not crazy,
Crazy.
but it's what we do. Yeah.
And lastly, before I let you go, I have to, of course, ask you, when you're prepping on this set, which is that one dish you really want to have around you?
I would say, when I'm applying myself mentally, emotionally a lot, which I do in prep mostly, I love nibbling, eating, drinking something all the time. So I think one thing I would want to have with myself perpetually, 2 actually. One would be croissants, and the other would be makhanas.
Okay.
Yeah. Makhanas, because you can just heat them on the tawa.
Yeah.
So yeah, these 2 things. Yeah.
And lastly, before I let you go, Sanjana, it was lovely to have you on board also, and having food conversation, and of course like knowing your hideouts also in a way. But what are your upcoming projects you're focusing on? You have to reveal now that you have been fed well.
Right?
Right.
You have.
That's a bribe in a way.
Yeah, you guys put us in a very awkward spot when something's not out there. We can't speak about it, but I think what is out there already is that because of the kind of love that Dhak Dhak was given, we're doing a sequel, and that is just the best feeling ever. It's such a huge validation. So we're in prep stages for that, and I'm just so excited to like give Manjari, my character, to get to revisit and relive her. And apart from that, like there's things that I'm working on which with time will come out. But I'm in a very interesting phase of like, after Kadak Singh and after Dhak Dhak, sometimes you do a film, I think, as an actor that just shows you the spectrum of what you are also capable of, because you don't always know. And I just I've been getting attracted to those stories where you really have to get into it and take the juice out of it. But it's been a slightly tough year for our industry, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
So I think even us younger actors have had to really like pull back, understand that the least number of projects that have gotten made in the past many years have gotten made this year. So it's obviously kind of affecting everybody. And I think in those moments it's also really important to remind yourself that being, it's not just you, first of all, and being patient while these bigger things figure themselves out is important.
So lovely chatting with you, Sanjana, and it was a lovely conversation on the platter with amazing food and some like good spice you added with your conversation, I must say that. Good to have you on board, and looking forward to Dhak Dhak 2 and many more projects from your end.
Thank
you so much for your
Thank
lovely
you for
time.
having me and for feeding me.
Yeah. And of course, the obsession for andas remains forever now.
Yes.
That is something which I'll remember, I'm sure.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you.